It's 30. We're still on the diversion route, so it'll be noisy with traffic going past. Very bright with the light, the sun rushing off the wall, reflecting off the wall. I hadn't realised that on Tuesday, today is Friday, on Tuesday it's going to be 40. Um, it wasn't until my friend Jane, pointed it out to me that it was going to be 40 that I decided on what we would do. I've cancelled Vicky. Vicky normally comes and cleans on a Tuesday afternoon, and I said, I'll pay you to stay away. I'll give her half of what she would have earned if she were here, and just said, don't come. It's going to be too hot. We want to be closed in and not have any doors open. And so that's what we'll do Tuesday. I think if I lived in a house with no shutters, I don't know what I'd do. Um, Obviously, years ago, I lived in houses without shutters, but not with a 40-degree heat outside. I'm trying to remember back to 1990, 1990, the summer of 1990, was it? Um, Towards the end of that summer, I was working temporarily because I had um, thrown in my job with the Prudential, and I was doing a temping job for a couple of weeks for an ice cream factory, and it was school holidays, so it would have been August. And I can remember saying to the kids as I left, don't open any doors. We'd got heavy lined curtains. Keep the curtains closed. Don't open any doors and windows, and don't go out. And I can't remember, but I think that was going to be 28 or up to 30. I don't remember now. How times have changed. So yeah, 40 on Tuesday. Today is comfortable, and the last evening was comfortable out here, and this evening will be. There's a bit of a breeze, and yes, everything's drying up. We had a little bit of rain with the storms that bypassed us mainly. Tiny bit of rain, nothing substantial for it hasn't made any difference to the colour of the grass. Um, so it's just all very dry. So the doctor's appointment was useful, and it was a good thing that we went, really, I think, because Mark had got quite concerned. And actually, what he is addressing is a slow decline, a slow decline in globular filtration rate. And that's been happening since 2023. Sort of, for me, coincides a bit with his NEOP. But of course, the type 2 diabetes has got worse. So we will continue to do what we're doing, which is um, cutting carbs and eating smaller portions and not having any snacks, um, and sticking to the eating window. I think Mark, I've got sort of caught up in it. Doesn't It's me that sorts out the in intermittent fasting. It's me that has the information about it. He takes pieces of it and makes stories up with it. makes makes his own story up with it. So he assumed that because we were doing intermittent fasting, he'd be fine. But I said to him, but you weren't doing intermittent fasting because you went way beyond the eating window. So anyway, um, we're back to our 6 hour eating window, and smaller portions, very few carbs. I did stir fried veg again today. I'd bought burgers. Every so often I do a burger bun. I think I probably said this because Pauline, you said that you'd had a burger. Not jealous at all. I'd bought burgers in the shopping 2 weeks ago and chucked them in the freezer. And then, of course, we ended up having to make changes to our diet. So I've got burger buns in there. So about once every couple of weeks, I'll do a meal that's a burger. So today we had the meat patty, one meat patty, because I got um, two out each because we weren't having the bun. But actually, I didn't realise, but they were that thick. They're vacuum packed, so you can't really tell. They're quite thick. So I cooked four, but we had one each, and I did stir fry veg and some mushrooms that needed using. So that's what we had for dinner. There's a piece of hake in the fridge, sitting on top of it, a bit of coconut rice, and I think it's called, no, was it called? I think it was called, yeah, coconut rice, which I left all the sugar out of that was in the recipe. It's sitting there. I haven't covered it, so it's sitting in the fridge, probably getting quite dry. So I'll dump the rice, um, and we're having sardines on that one slice of toast again tonight, and we'll have a piece of hake, dried up hake with it to eat it. Mark won't mind. He'll eat what I give him. He you know, I can put weird stuff on the plate and he'll eat it. So I did the other day. I said I'm going to do one of my meals. I can't remember now, but it was really nice. You know, when I chuck stuff together that I've got and use what I've got, it often turns out really well. And the only problem is I can't replicate it. If somebody says, "Oh, it's really nice, I like that," I can't replicate it because I haven't got the odds and sods that I put in it before. So yeah, that was the outcome at the doctor's. I just went for a repeat prescription, and I don't think it was there weren't many people in there. There were two women in the waiting room when we got there. I mean, it's not like a UK surgery. You know, it's very small, and you haven't got. When I see, I mean, they're cities, aren't they? I think Bradford's a big town or a city. When I see that, doctors behind, GPs behind closed doors, and you've got these waiting rooms full of people, full of noise, full of kids, full of fish in tanks to distract people, and signs coming up, Mrs. So and so to Doctor So and so. It's not like that at all. There were two women when we got there. There's enough seating in there, in the actual waiting room for about 10 people, and so we sat and we sat and we sat. So we sat there for probably about 20 minutes until one of the women went. And then we sat there for another quarter of an hour. She wasn't too bad. She was quite quick. Quarter of an hour. She left. Then he came and got a woman that was sitting there, who I thought looked quite worried, and had got a big fat folder of health stuff. And I was thinking, oh my God, she's going to be forever. She was half an hour, and but in the quarter of an hour, after she left, an old man turned up. So he was there for a quarter of an hour before we went in. We had half an hour. So he waited 3/4 of an hour. We waited 3/4 of an hour, I suppose. So yeah, I came out, and needed the loo as usual. I need the loo when I get there. I make sure I go to the loo before I leave. And I walked into the loo, sat down, and the seat was wet. I'll leave that to your imagination. There was an old man in the waiting room and no one else. So that was nice. Got a bit wet. And yeah, so that was it really. We came home. We had carbs. We got, because it was 1 o'clock. We got to San Savannah, to the boulangerie, and I went in and bought the last two sandwiches. One was ham and one was ham and cheese, and I cut them in half because they're like little baguette. They call them sandwich, but they're little baguettes. So I cut them in half and I added tomatoes and mayo to mine. So we had that. And then what did I do for dinner? That had carbs as well. Very small baked potatoes with tuna and sweet corn in mayonnaise. So that's it really. It's nice having the internet back. It's not. I think for me, I didn't actually completely lose it because I could access horrible Facebook, because Facebook not controlled by. I use fluff busting Facebook Purity as a Chrome extension, and that means I don't get all the sponsor posts. I don't get loads of crap. I get the posts I want to see, and so I'd forgotten after 10 days, and I'd put Facebook on my phone, and it'd be like, oh God, this is crap. Put it on there, and it's like, oh, that's better. So it's much better. It's called fluff busting Facebook Purity, because it gets rid of all the fluff. So yeah, so that it's good having that back properly. Good having the big screen. Good being able to use my keyboard when I'm talking to people instead of trying to do it on a phone. Um, Bit of a shock because I haven't used my tablet, because when I'm sitting watching YouTube in front of, so I've got my screen with YouTube on, and I play Scrabble on my tablet. I've been playing Scrabble on my phone, which is small. There was a bit of a shock and a bit of an adjustment because the tablet seemed massive. The Scrabble board seemed really massive on the tablet. So that was good. I think Mark's very happy. We went really quiet yesterday. We didn't go to art. We were so tired we went to bed. We hadn't really slept well the night before, and got up early for the free technician. And just, yeah, we're just tired, and it was like there's no way we're going to drag ourselves to art. So as soon as we'd eaten, we went back to bed for a siesta in bed. I didn't really get to sleep. I never do, and Mark did. So, but after that, we came down, and it was just dead silent in the house. He didn't even put his radio on till about 9 o'clock last night. I think he'd forgotten that he could use the radio. I think that's what I've missed, is that when he's sitting in his room, if he is doing his modelling, he's normally got the radio on. He's normally got some Planet Rock or something on, or a lot of old stuff comes up, that was, I don't think all of it's to his taste, and some of it isn't to mine, but it is a lot of old stuff probably from the 70s and the 80s. And every so often you get I can't remember it now because I've not heard it for days, the one of the Luxembourg um, jingles. You get the jingles from the old Luxembourg, I think it's Luxembourg or Caroline radio stations, which is just so, you know, whatever the word is that I can't find, it's that. So yeah, so that's what I've missed, is the general, he's in there doing that, I'm in there doing that, and there's that sort of noise. Not that I like noise, I sit up. When I get up and I'm down here sometimes a couple of hours before Mark gets up, I don't put any noise on. I'm not someone that needs a radio going, or I know someone that needs the television on in the background all the time. In fact, I find that really irritating if there's a television on in the background all the time. So I don't have any noise when I'm up. But during the evening when we're here and he's in his room, in his bunker, and I'm in my bunker, it's just the norm having the radio on. So yeah, hadn't realised I was missing it until I heard it last night. So that's it really. What did we do this morning? We went to the pharmacy twice this morning. Oh, my Magimix was delivered this morning. They tried to deliver it yesterday. It wasn't due till this morning. Um, did I tell you that I ordered a new one? I might have done. I ordered my old one, which is over 10 years old. There's a little plastic, because I've seen it on the new one now, what it actually broke. A little plastic locking pin broke on my old one, but I've carried on using my old one years and years and years and years after that. It just doesn't lock. You have to be a bit more careful how you lock it. And the other day I couldn't get it going, and we tried several times, couldn't get it going. So I ordered a new one, and then when it was Tuesday, so Vicky was here, and she washed up where I'd been because I was making coleslaw, so there was a grated cabbage in it and whatever. She washed it up and put it back together again, and I turned it on, and it turned on, and it was like. So I thought, oh well, whatever. I'm going to have a nice new shiny one, and I've given the somebody coming on Monday to pick up the old one. And it's very different to look at. It isn't very different to look at, but the new shiny one is shiny. The plastic bowls are really clear and clean, whereas mine are really sort of opaque because they're so worn, used so much. So I've got a nice shiny one. I haven't used it yet. It's slightly different. The big bowl is slightly different. It's more, yeah, it flares out a bit, so it looks a bit different. But other than that, it's the same, but shiny. So that came this morning, and he was here by 10 to 10, the postman. So I said to Mark, we could go to the pharmacy now before lunch. I normally wait. So let's go and do the pharmacy. So off we went to the pharmacy, thinking this is good. Getting ourselves sorted for the rest of the day off. Get to the pharmacy, hand over the prescription, and she looks at it and sort of says something that I didn't quite get. And I went, no, it's there, look, that's him, that's his carte vitale. And she went, it's for the infirmier. And I thought, so I had taken to the pharmacy the blood tests and left here in our blood test box the ordinals, the prescriptions. I'd sorted them out this morning, thinking that should go away. Do that, put a note in my calendar to make appointments for blood tests. Took the wrong thing. So we came all the way back. As I walked out, I went, je reviens, which means I'll be back. I'm coming back. And came back, picked up the prescriptions and went and picked them up from the pharmacy. So 2 trips into Saint-Savin, market day. They're quite busy in there. Road's still closed. I don't know what that's about, that diversion. It's really annoying. Well, I say it's really annoying. We don't need it now till Friday, a week today. We've got a bank appointment. I thought it was today. Yeah, I don't know why it's closed. It's not that long since they resurfaced some of that. They're probably digging it up because it's too nice to drive on to make it not so nice to drive on. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know what they're doing. And the journey we did yesterday, the route that we took up, which was all D11, Roger. So ours is the D11, and the other side we carried on the D11 up to Nallier and La Boisière, and then turned off. Was apparently, Google says it's a minute faster. It did feel quicker. It felt quicker, even though we followed a tractor for ages and ages and ages. A wide tractor towing a cultivator, so you couldn't get past it. But it did seem quicker. So I think without the tractor, if we go up there that way next time when we go to the doctors, it will be quicker than the 1 minute that they say it is. I think they say it takes 24 minutes from here, the way we normally go, which is through Lane-sur-Fontaine, and that takes 23. And I think probably if we don't meet traffic and whatever, it'll be quicker. So that's it. I'm farming. I'm being a pig farmer at the moment. I get to a point where I think, I don't know what to do now. I don't know what to, I did horses. Got really bored with that. You have to ride the bloody things every day to train them, which is boring. So I've got rid of the horses and got pigs. All that you do with the pigs is you fatten them up and sell them. So that's what I'm doing, and I realised today that I was doing that wrong. So I've set myself up now so that I'm doing it correctly, and will make a big profit when they're 25 months old. During which time they would have reproduced, I think, 2 or 3 times. So that's your profits there as well. Oh, this is what you really want to know about, isn't it? My farming. The tech, the free tech that came, Guillaume, has done work for Giant, I think it is probably pronounced, Giants, who are the makers of the game. He's worked for them. He knew about the game, and I spoke to him about how they've put too many 2CVs and too many Citroen DSs in the game. And I said, there's also, he said, oh, I'll email my friend. And I went, well, you can also ask them about the people walking around in the same clothes in all weathers, so it's snowing and they're still in t-shirts. But yeah, it was quite interesting. So he wanted to chat. He'd got tattoos on both calves, and I said to him, what are your tattoos? Tell me about your tattoos. And it's a game called Portal. So on one leg, they're both oval tattoos. One's like a dark green, and one on the other leg is a bit of an orange, and one's got a stick figure going in, so half a stick figure going in, and the other leg's got the half a stick figure coming out. Really unique, I thought. So he showed me the game. He said, it's really good. And I went, well, you don't have to shoot people. He went, no, not violent, not anything like that. So I haven't had a look at it. I will have a look at it, but it might. He said it's just really you're using your brain to work out how to get out of somewhere or get onto the next level and next level, next level. Probably a little bit like Tomb Raider, which I did play in the 90s, which got quite good at. I couldn't manage that now. All those jumps and flips and whatever. No way could I do that now, but I did. But that, I don't think there was any. She'd got guns, hadn't she? But I don't think she shot anything in Tomb Raider. I think, yeah, I don't think so. I don't remember now. So yeah, because it was him that connected me on my PS3 to Netflix. So he talks really fast. I said this, didn't I, in the road trip? He talks really fast, but in English. But it's really handy having somebody hear English. And I know that if I had said to him, "Oh, hold on, can you do this for me?" Um, I could have put my game on and got him to pick up the last collectible that I can't find. I know where it is. I can't get to it. I know that if I'd asked him, "Can you just do this?" because he would have just like done it. There's a pigeon in the kiwi. Taken the risk of coming down. I saw it flying. I mean, we know that they've been interested in the kiwi. They always do get interested in nesting in the kiwi. You hear it. And what happens is, often, is they have to abandon it because it's facing this way, south. If we have really, really heavy wind and storm, it just gets battered. So that's what's happened in the past. You know, we've got pigeons in the kiwi. I mean, there's pigeons nesting all around anyway. But we've got pigeons in the kiwi, and sort of look forward to seeing the squabs and whatever. But that never is a successful place. And I've said it before, but there'll be lots of people that haven't heard that pigeons, wood pigeons, all pigeons, I suppose, wood pigeons. I think they're wood pigeons. Take it in turns to sit on the nest, so they do a 12-hour shift each. It's possibly also why it's not successful, because it'll be stinking hot. I know it needs to be hot. When birds sit on eggs, it needs to be quite hot. I can't remember I think it was 38. No, it was higher than that. Because that's 36. Yeah, it might have been 38, 39 C for an incubator. I don't know. Pigeon eggs different. So the bird gets really, hot underneath and, heats the eggs. But I wonder whether that actually just gets too hot over there. I mean, Tuesday it's going to get stinking hot, isn't it? So anyway, that's it really. That's what's going on. I thought I'd come out whilst it was still possible to come out here. I'm uploading a video that I did, which I will chop up if I'm able on YouTube. I'm still not. I'm going to have to download a new way of editing, which is a shame because I was I'm not good at stuff like that. And I know people say, "Oh, that editing software is really simple," but I'd got used to iMovie, and that for me was really simple, and I need something simple. But iMovie, I don't know, it might be better now. I'll have a look at it. But anyway, so I'm going to turn you around. Hold on. I did half an hour. That's the kiwi, the big green. And I did half an hour looking at the lavender. I'm really reluctant to do this because it turned off the other day when I did this. The lavender, which is sort of central there, which has been full of bees and butterflies. So I'll try and chop it up a bit so you're not looking. Well, you don't have to watch the whole half hour. I don't know what would have been picked up. I got it as close as I could, so you may have picked up quite a bit of the noise. As you walk past it, there's not a lot on it now because it's so hot, but when you walk past it, it sounds like a bee motorway. It's very noisy. Okay, thanks for watching, and thanks for all your comments. I think I at least managed to let you know I'd seen them by ticking like yesterday, so I think I'm up to speed so far. Okay, bye.